The value of having Juice back out there, what would that do for you guys in the secondary?
The value of having Jaheim Clark is amazing. No different than the value of having Caleb Patterson and Torrey Cox and every guy you have in the room. So you just try and coach each and every one of them the same way. Keep the standard extremely high, because you never know when it just takes one play as a corner for something good to happen or something really bad to happen. So you just got to be ready for those moments. And you saw how he would, prepared for those moments. Extra meeting time with me, or standing in the back of practice while everybody else is practicing. He's going through his steps while his leg is wrapped up for 6 weeks. The patience, the diligence, the commitment to detail that you see a young guy go through. But he's watched Dylan Rosiak do that. He's watched Matt Bailey do that. He's watched Xavier Scott do that. So it's a standard. It's a part of who we are. When you're hurt around here, you're not just on the sideline hanging out and talking to friends. You've got a script, and you're focused at what the next play call is, and you're going through the mental rep of what will I do on that play. But ultimately, how does my feet move, or what can my body do in that particular moment? So the value is extremely high when you got players like that that's committed to being better and getting better, even for the time that they're out.
How did you feel his presence the most in his return?
Oh yeah, his presence was amazing, because his juice is natural, right? His energy is natural, and when you see him out there going and fighting and running and trying to make plays, and covering fumbles, and I mean that's an elite level of hustle. That's something that you got inside of you, where I'm not going to let my team down. Leon had just forced a fumble. Let me find a way to get to it. Or on the pass breakup, where I'm not even in man coverage right now. I'm in zone, and this guy's breaking back for the ball, and during the scramble going against a great quarterback like that, let me press back towards this receiver as if I'm in man and really get the ball out and get the ball back for the team. When you see stuff like that, you just got to just clap just for a quick second and just tell him, hey, we got to get ready for the next set, right? So just to see how he goes about his everyday work to prepare him for those moments is awesome.
Jaheim does have that abundance of energy, which seems to match his position coach pretty well. So
Yes, sir.
How do you harness that? Make sure it's positive energy.
Always positive energy around here, because for us, it's staying grounded to what all keeps us connected, obviously, which is working hard every single day, right? Being here, right? The things that you see on the wall around here, family. And what does that really mean? Staying connected to each other, blocking out all of the outside noise. And so when you see guys that's doing that, as a coach, you fall in line and make sure you're doing the same things too, right? Because if they can concentrate for week after week after week to do that, you should as well, right? And so that's what a team, that's what a family is all about. So harnessing that energy is just the same way I got to harness mine, right? I want to let out and go crazy at all times, but it takes some discipline to control it, because now you've got to put that energy towards something, which is maybe just your studies inside of meetings. Sometimes it's in individual drills, the technique you're learning, but ultimately it's to make sure that player is getting the most out of himself, and as a coach, you're getting the most out of you every single day you're here.
Obviously you got the green light from the training staff, medical staff, but then for you as a coach, you go in, okay, cool, you're going to play 80 snaps, or is it let's see how this goes? How do you plan for that?
You plan for it with a thought process of just be ready for your normal rotations. And when a hand is hot, you play the hot hand as long as you can, with also having conversation to find out, hey, how's your body feeling? Because ultimately, as a coach, you're playing the strategic role of someone that's managing scheme, managing the way someone feels. You're a social worker. You're managing, you're doing the best you can to be a nurse practitioner, a doctor, listening into the training department. You're doing the best you can, but ultimately you got to be an elite level communicator, because you've got to be able to have eye-to-eye contact and say, hey, where are you right now? Are you here with me? How you feeling? Do you need a little bit of time off? How's your body feeling? What did they do to you on the last rep? What did that scheme look like? And you're going through all of these different conversations, and you only got 3 plays to do it, and before it's time to go back out there sometimes, right? And so for me, it's just making sure that I can be clear with that communication, so he can be clear back with me on, hey, I do need a minute, coach, or hey, coach, they did this to me, right? And it's the first time we've been able to communicate this year together on the sideline. So it was really, really good to go through this process with him at practice so that on game day when it happened, it was nothing new. So seeing how he managed 80 reps was amazing, right? And obviously putting himself in good position, but also the line of excellence doesn't move. He still doesn't feel he played his best, right? I feel he didn't play his best. But ultimately, we got to come together and come down to an agreement of these are the things that we got to do better, and that's what film on Sunday is about.
Tanner's defense on those 2 touchdowns was pretty good, all things considered. What's the teaching moment there? Is that just to tip your hat to a really good receiver-quarterback combo moment?
Yeah, so you wanna teeter that line, right? You want to teeter that line of you go into the technique of it and say, you used the correct technique, your head was back, you were eye to eye with the guy, you tried to strike the ball out, he made an amazing catch, right? You got to flush this down the toilet. The first thing a player usually wants to do is, I just got a ball caught on me for a touchdown. So you've got to help them get past that moment. Again, that's the social work piece of it. You got to be a great listener, but you also got to be very directive or very direct when you're trying to get him to understand you got to move on, bro. Otherwise, that play will haunt you for the rest of this season. And I definitely don't want it to haunt you for the rest of this game. So you got to try and help them get past it. The blessing is those iPads on the sideline. You can show them, hey, look at this. This is actually what happened, not what you think, right? This is actually what happened. So you go over that over and over and over again. You try and give them a clear picture of this is what we're going to do next time. Because next time you'll be in position, if most importantly, your brain allows you to, because you believe in yourself, you got the confidence to do it. He made a great play. They made a great catch. A great throw and a great catch always really beats great defense, right? So sometimes you just got to deal with those things and live on to see the next day and ultimately the next play.
I think USC's quarterback made some really good off-script plays, right? I mean, he got out of the pocket, ran. I think Purdue's probably has a similar capability. What's key for your group to handle those moments when they're running or flushing out and making off-script plays?
Wow, this is the new style of offense to a certain extent, right? And you see it in NFL football, and you see how it's now passed itself throughout, college football. And so for us, dealing with Nitro Tuggle and his group of receivers is going to be a task, right? We've got to come to the table and we've got to work, right? This quarterback Brown, he's really good, right? He's good at making plays off script. So you've got to be disciplined downfield. You've got to be great with your eyes, because at any given time, this quarterback, just like last week's quarterback, will scramble and then release a deep one down the field. And he showed that in other games, right? And so you've got to always be alert for those things, but you also got to be alert for if maybe he pulls the ball down and you were a part of a low zone area. Now this dude may be someone you got to bring down and tackle, right? Because those things happen in zone read situations last week, just like they may happen this week. So you've got to be aware on all levels when you're playing against guys like this. This when you're dealing with a Lincoln Riley offense, right? That's what you deal with, And you see so many different great quarterbacks come out of it, and we were just able to deal with one last week.
How do you feel like your guys handle playing more zone coverage? Because Aaron said it's probably the most he's called.
You said, repeat the question, please.
How do you feel like your guys handled maybe playing more zone coverage than they've been used to?
Well, for the guys, it's just being able to adjust on the fly, right? Whatever the play that's called, being able to deal with it, right? Whether it's man, whether it's zone, because the reality of it is, if you play DB long enough, zone deep down the field turns into man eventually. You're just in those situations. You know what I mean? If you're in some type of quarters defense and 4 guys go vertical, if it's 4 guys back there and it's 4 of you, all 4 of you guys got to match up eventually. And so that's essentially what you got to just try and keep in mind when you're playing zone, doing the right things, when you're playing man, doing the right things. You cannot let your team down no matter the coverage, because at the end of the day, it's about finishing each and every play with the ball on the ground or in your hands.
Maybe a dumb question, but when you have those kind of matchups like Lemon and Tuggle this week, how important is the offensive look team to you guys to try to get it right as far as your coverage goes?
Oh, wow. Coach B does an amazing job of making sure that the look team and what we do around here is so vitally close and similar in everything they do, from the jerseys that they wear to the way that they do everything. You know what I mean? And like every single day they look like and try and perform exactly like from the time they release everything to, you know, how the team's going to play the game. So now you get rehearsal. That's a true rehearsal every single day of what the other team's going to look like. So it's very important for the look team to do so. And we got a great group of guys that do it every single day.
Thanks, Coach.